Here's where things really, and I mean really start to get interesting though. It looks like his true colors are starting to be revealed. I have a serious question. How come nobody, and I mean nobody at all, is talking about this? 17.8 points per game, 5.6 assists, 5.2 rebounds, and also shooting 44% behind the three-point line against the elite of the elite, the best of the best competition. Without knowing the player who put up those numbers and stats, what would you say about him? I think we can all come to the terms with and agree putting up nearly 18 points per game, 5 assists, 5 rebounds, and shooting nearly 45% behind the three-point line in the Peach Jam against the best competition that is really solid and really good. Obviously, most of you probably know and you can infer that Bronny James, yes, that is the player that did put up those numbers. I just wanted to read them off to you right off the bat without you knowing immediately who I was talking about, because maybe it can give you a different perspective. A couple of nights ago, I watched Bronny James, Team Strive for Greatness, and the Midwest Ohio team play their last and final AAU game. I'm sure some of you watching this video, you might have saw it because it was on ESPN, and as a matter of fact, I didn't even know it was going on, but my boy Only Casino, he tagged it to me on Instagram. I appreciate that, my man. Whenever he tagged me in it, it was about an hour before the game, and I was like, hey, I'm going to try to clear everything I got scheduled for tonight, and I want to see this game, and I want to watch all of it. Not the highlights, not just the first half or second half, every single bit of it. Team Strive for Greatness, which is Bronny's team, they did wind up losing the game by about 10 points, but trust me, it wasn't even that close. The other team they were playing, they had a bunch of solid players like Reed Shepard. I'm going to talk about him later in this video because he needs more attention. Gabe Cups, all those guys. In reality, every single player that was playing on either team, they was really good. I think there was something like 8 guys on the court at one point in time that were ranked inside the top 100. However, Team Strive for Greatness, the team that actually had the better overall talent and better players, they weren't the team that won this game. There's not another way to say this. They flat out got ran out of the gym. I saw some people on Twitter saying that Team Strive for Greatness, they got beat by a bunch of white boys, but come on now, it wasn't an all-white team. I think whenever people try to use that phrase, oh, you got beat by a bunch of white boys, it's another way of saying that, oh, you got beat by a fundamentally sound team. You can call it how you want it, but that's a stereotype. Everybody knows that one AAU team that's full of white boys and they play so fundamental, they never turn the ball over, and if you played AAU, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I don't got to preach on it. They're fundamentally sound, they're not going to beat themselves, so they really frustrate you, and they can shoot the 3-ball. Everything I just said, in reality, it actually describes that Midwest team perfectly. In this ball game, it was a really fun one to watch, and I know a lot of you watching this video, more than likely you've never heard of this kid, but look up and remember the name Reed Shepard. He's a 5-star recruit and he's going to Kentucky. He's one of those quote-unquote white boys where if you saw him today at your local Walmart, you wouldn't even think for a second that he could give you the work. But he can play, man, and I don't have to sit up here and tell you can play. There's a reason that John Calipari wants him. With all that being said, here's what we're really here to focus on. Mr. Bronny James. In this game, I am not going to lie, I was extremely excited. Like I said, I cleared my schedule. I was like, okay, I want to see this new Bronny, the one that's putting up nearly 20 points per game, 5 assists, and 5 rebounds in the Peach Jam. Unfortunately, Bronny didn't have this outstanding and unreal game where he goes off for 25 points and 10 rebounds and 5 assists like he's done not only a week or two ago. Me personally, I didn't think he played all bad. Like I said, he didn't wow me, but I thought it was an okay performance. On the flip side, there was a lot of people who were disappointed in his performance because at halftime, he only had 2 points. And I never saw an official stat line come out from that game, but from every bucket I counted, he had a layup, he had a crazy dunk and a 3-pointer. I know he didn't have over 10 points. I think he had 7, he could have had 9, I could have missed a free throw here and there. But like I said, wasn't nothing unreal. If I had to guess off the top of my head, he might have had 2 assists and he probably had like 6 or 7 rebounds. Make no mistakes about it. Anytime a high school team and a high school player is playing on national TV, is playing on ESPN, it's one of the biggest games you'll ever play in your life. There's pressure because you know before the game, somebody is going to aware you that this game will be on national TV. Like I stated, I didn't think he played all too bad, but many others, they would strongly disagree with that statement. Here's where things really, and I mean really start to get interesting though. It looks like his true colors are starting to be revealed. We're going to talk all about it in tonight's video. Hey man, real quick, before we get into it, we're on the road to 216,000 subscribers. I want y'all to look at the subscriber count. We are literally less than 1,000 subs away from it. Let's try and see if we can hit 216K from this video. Alright Matt, shut the crap up. Your intro is already too long, blah, 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 blah. Now without further ado, let's get into it. Why do I say it like that? That sounds so corny. Alright, let's get into it. There we go, there we go. Bronald. Bronald James is revealing his true colors, and I'm all here for it. Did I spell Bronald right? I don't know. If I did, y'all let me know in the comment section. I already know. But anyways, let's get serious. I'm going to let you know right now, this isn't a joking matter. We only have one topic in this video, one topic only, and that's Mr. Bronny. We're not wasting no time at all. Let's jump straight into it. Look at this tweet, and this is from the game I was talking about in the intro. Reed Shepherd out here just taking the ball away from Bronny James. Also below that, Reed Shepherd is tearing Bronny James a new you-know-what on ESPN. Another one right here, Bronny James and them just got their butt kicked by a team full of white boys. But guess what? It continues to go on. Bronny James was the 5th best guard in the game yesterday. Don't let the blowhards convince you he's top tier. He's a role player. Ladies and gentlemen, that is just a few of the hate comments I picked down. It's Bronny James. You know I could read off thousands and thousands of more. We're talking about Bronny James. He's the son of LeBron James, who is arguably one of the most criticized NBA athletes of all time. I don't have to sit up here and read off these hate comments about Bronny. You know they're all over the internet. Okay. Hold on, this gotta be the best one. I seen a grown man call himself a Bronny James hater. Dog, I'm sad at your life you hate a kid. Oh my gosh, dude. I think my favorite part of these videos is reading the Twitter comments. I'm trying to get serious because this is a very serious topic and not a funny video, but a serious one, so I need to lock in. But that is the truth. That's the saddest part about that tweet. You got grown men hating on Bronny. Okay, look, I hate to say this. Y'all know how I feel about the Himothy Neutron. Oh my God, it's him. Oh my God, it's him. I think it's the corniest thing ever. It's the same thing with the Duke Dennis and unspoken wrist crap. But Bronny James, he is him. Most of us know the stereotypes and the narrative of whenever an NBA legend and superstar, they have a kid that also plays basketball. Look at Michael Jordan's son, Shaquille O'Neal's son, Dwayne Wade's son, and the list goes on and on. When all these NBA superstars have kids, they're not even close to what they were. On the other hand, for Bronny and Bryce James, and we'll talk about Bryce in probably a video tomorrow, stay tuned for that, you're about to see the narrative flip. I'm calling it right now. Put all the marbles on the table. The narrative will flip and change. Am I saying that Bryce James and Bronny James will be as good as LeBron James? Heck to the no. It's LeBron. He's a one of one. But here's what I am saying. They're not going to turn out like Shaquille O'Neal's son or Dwayne Wade's son or Michael Jordan's son. They will get to the NBA. They have talent and potential. There's two things in basketball you can't coach. It's rather simple, and I just said it. Talent and potential, and Bryce and Bronny, they have both. The NFL's a little different because you can still have those 5'10", 5'11", wide receiver white guys who are in the slots burning defenses left and right. I mean, come on now. Look at Hunter Renfrow, if y'all know what that is. Does this look like a guy? I'm going to show you a picture on the screen. Does this look like a guy who's going to tear up the NFL? No, but he does. Hunter Renfrow's not that athletic. He's just a fundamental white guy that plays the game the right way. The difference with the NFL and NBA is if you have a 5'10" point guard who's wide and unathletic, they don't even have a chance. So to not only get to the NBA, but succeed in the NBA, you gotta have the talent and potential. That leads me into my next point perfectly, and I'm glad I brought that up. The true character and colors of Bronny James is being revealed right in front of our eyes. Now, when he was a freshman, he played varsity for Sierra Canyon, didn't play that much. He was a young guy. His 10th grade year, he only averages like 6 points per game, and then last year, it was pretty much the same thing. I think he averaged around 7 or 8 points per game. What has been the biggest knock on Bronny for the past 2 to 3, 4 years? He's not aggressive. He doesn't score enough. He needs to do more. And well, what do you know? It looks like he's taking that next step in his game. And it's not like he hit this crazy growth spurt or anything like that. I just think he finally realized, holy crap, I am Bronny James and I can take over. I don't know what took so long in his head to get this mindset, but I'm glad he finally got it. The beast is being unleashed, and I understand that was probably the corniest thing. The beast is being unleashed. I think I saw that on a t-shirt somewhere, but I'm trying to be serious. But seriously, Bronny James the Beast, he's finally unleashing himself. Going back to the game on ESPN, you're probably sitting there saying, well, Matt, how are you saying the Beast is being unleashed? He only had 7 points in that game. He wasn't that effective on offense, and you got to understand this to pay attention to the facts. Teams strive for greatness. They just started playing and practicing together like 2 to 3 weeks ago. That other team, they've been playing together for like 4 or 5 years. Team Strive for Greatness was playing isolation basketball, and Bronny barely got the basketball at times, and the other team was running set plays. Overall, though, yeah, Reed Shepherd, he stole the ball from Bronny once. I think Bronny wound up having like 2 or 3 turnovers, but every player finishes the game with 2 or 3 turnovers. Come on now. If you've been watching the channel and you're an OG, you know I'll be the first to criticize Bronny when it's time to criticize him. Trust me, you better believe that. But here's what I find so odd. He's playing amazing. He's averaging nearly 18 points per game, 5 assists, 5 rebounds, and it's crickets. Nobody's talking about it. You're not seeing anybody on Twitter talking talking about it, you're not seeing any news sources talking about how good Bronny's playing. And it blows my mind, it really does. Yes, most of y'all know this. I'm going to criticize people, but I'm also going to give credit when it's due. I have a serious question. How come nobody, and I mean nobody at all, is talking about this? How does a young man, more specifically Bronny freaking James, go out there, drop 18 points per game, 5 assists, 5 rebounds, and it's crickets? And what's so funny about it is if he would have averaged 4 points per game, 2 rebounds, and 2 assists, oh, Twitter would have been on fire. Everybody would have been saying, oh, he's overrated. But when he puts up 18 points per game, 5 assists, 5 rebounds, nobody says anything. A little fishy if you had to ask me. I'm going to end the video off here, and I want you to understand this. This Bronny James we've seen over the past month or two at Peach Jam, this is Bronny James. I don't know what we saw from that 9th through 11th grade year. He was a kid, he was growing, there was a lot of pressure on him. But that's not Bronny. That was his evil twin brother, Ronnie James. That was not Bronny James, and that's why I was so mad last year when we talked about him. I knew he was gifted. I knew he was talented, so that's why I was mad and criticizing him when he would go out there and drop 2, 4, 6 points per game. You don't have to agree with this, but I firmly believe right now at this given moment, Bronny James is an NBA talent. I'm not saying he could succeed in the NBA right now, but I am saying he's an NBA talent. And if you don't think some of these NBA scouts already have him on their radar, you're out of your mind. He's an NBA talent, and so is his brother Bryce James, who is only like 15 or 16 years old, and guess what? That's a little foreshadowing. We're going to talk about him in tomorrow's video. I don't want to keep you guys here too much longer. I just have to, and I want to give credit when it's due. I am so proud of Bronny James, and I just can't emphasize that enough. Me, you, everyone watching this video, we could say, oh, we understand the pressure, but there's no way we could even try to understand the pressure of being LeBron James' son. The fact that he is thriving and he's playing phenomenal, I love to see it. I am very curious. Let me know your thoughts on everything we talked about down below. But,